Hey Brickmaniacs, welcome to a Vault preview video for the April 2023 drop. If this is the first that you are watching one of these previews since we did our little test auction, I've got some information for you. So basically the gist of it is now the Vault is operating on an auction-based system, which means that instead of just going in and directly purchasing things where there's going to be an auction component to it, it'll function very similar to eBay. So when you go to the website, you will see at the top bar there's a little auction products section. You can click on that and that will take you to everything that the Vault has to offer for that month. Auctions will start at 8 a.m. on Thursday, and then they will move the first Thursday of the month, 8 a.m., and then they will end the first Sunday of the month at 12 o'clock p.m., so 12 noon. So that will be the auction window for everything that drops with all of these Vault hauls, so to speak. So then after that, you will be receiving an email if you were the winner for that auction item. You will notice too that there is a price listed for each one of them. That's the reserve price. So basically that means that is the minimum amount that the item can actually sell for. So even if the maximum bid is underneath that reserve price, that doesn't mean that they're automatically the winner of that item. So that's kind of how it works. Those of you who were involved in the test auction that we ran just recently here back in March are a little bit more familiar with the system already. But like I said, if you're seeing this for the first time, things have changed in regards to the Brickmania Vault, and now it looks and operates a little bit differently. But this is now the first official Vault haul. So now the really cool thing about this new system is that we'll actually have the auction item entries available for you guys to view before they actually go on active auction. So you'll be able to, starting today, see these items, and this isn't even everything, it's not even close to everything. You'll be able to see these items actually populating ahead of time. That gives you guys a little bit of a chance to sit there and scroll through the various pages and see exactly where you want to put your attention towards, so to speak. Because obviously it's going to be quite a competitive thing for some of the popular ones, and then who knows, maybe even a little bit of savings for things that are a little bit less popular or that we made significantly more of. So I know that's kind of a lot of information to handle. On each one of the Vault entry items, you'll see there's a description in there that will explain everything about how the Vault operates. So some things have changed, some things haven't. They're still all display models. They still come with whatever boxes, store assets, everything else that we can get together, including that certificate as well. So there are some similarities, but like I said, there's been a lot of changes since we got this new system up and running. And bear with us a little bit. We're still working on it. We received a lot of good feedback from that initial trial run, and so we've made some corrections moving forward as well, including listing that reserve price directly on the page so you guys kind of know exactly what you're dealing with when it comes to minimum bids. You can bid in $5 increments. So the lowest bid will actually start at $5, but like I said, you got to hit that reserve in order to actually be declared the winner. And then if you are the winner, you'll get an email right to your inbox. Otherwise, you can also go to My Bids on brickmania.com, and that will show you everything as well that you're the front runner for, so to speak. And remember, you have to have an account through brickmania.com, which if you've ever purchased anything from us, you've already made as well. So that's easy enough to be registered there. But a good thing to do ahead of time. So let's look at some builds here. So we just kind of randomly pulled some of these out because we wanted to check out some of the stuff that had, from a wide variety of eras, some things unique, some things that we made a lot of. But I wanted to check through some of these. So this is a cool one to start with here. This is kind of the big one. So this is the M777 and MTVR, I want to say is what it was. So this is actually a bundle. You'd get both of these things together if you were to win this auction as well. And then cool. Check out that 3D printed muzzle brake on there that allows you to actually tow your M777 as well. It does all fold up just like it's supposed to. There's a lot of people who got this M777 build and really enjoyed it. And then we actually used it again, similar design for the Ukraine benefit as well. Because obviously those are active over there. But that one didn't include the truck, which you get with this as well, which is kind of cool. Big bulky turret on the top, nice canvas cover in the back, and then a very unique, if you've seen these things in real life, here, let's see if I flip this around. The angling on the truck bed is interesting to say the least, because but that's how it is in real life. So props to the designers for being able to capture those intricate angles, because obviously pretty easy to make a square truck bed out of Lego, but adding those angles to it definitely complicates the situation pretty significantly. Pair of minifigures also included with that, and then obviously the little control panel mechanism needed to actually operate and fire that M777, which is awesome. Right next to it, another kind of unique piece. So this is the Fritz X, I believe. Which, check out this awesome minifigure. That's one that you definitely won't see very often. Not a standalone item, so to speak. But this is one of those kits too that we did I want to say for Wunderwaffe in 21, maybe? I don't know, Dan would know if he was here, but I'm doing this solo, as you can tell. But this is a great example of a kit that kind of just got like one, maybe a second run. Wasn't exactly something that we were going to produce a bunch of, and now we're getting back from our retail stores, and so there's kind of one last crack to be able to pick up this model, which really that's, you know, what the Vault is for people who are new to Brickmania or, you know, don't pay attention to everything going on every week, which I totally get. I know we move at a crazy fast pace. So sometimes you miss stuff, and sometimes you're looking back and you're going, man, I absolutely have to have that in my collection. You know, what do I got to do to get my hands on it? Well, now you've got to compete with the other Brickmaniacs to be able to secure that. But cool example there. The Rome plow next to it is another one that's like, look at this, I love this, the printing on the back. We just doze. But this is another example of one that like, we're not going to make 500 Rome plows because there really isn't 500 people out there who are interested in collecting this, but there might be a couple of who would look back and go, man, that's exactly what I need for my Vietnam mock, etc. And so that's totally something that you can be able to pick up here in the Vault. This is another good example of them, the Mock Buster. Mini kits, as you guys know, kind of few and far between if it's not a Jeep or a 4x4 of some sort. And so sometimes it's, you know, something like this you don't see too terribly often. When you do, this one was actually a pretty popular one, especially for the first couple of drops, because for a small model, you really don't see us do that much printing with it all the time. But this one's obviously in blaze orange, so it'll stand out in your collection. And then also has some really nice prints included on it as well. So cool addition to everything going on there. But let's dive in now into the more military stuff. Like I said, we have stuff from a wide variety of eras, and I was not lying. Look at this. We've got a Roman chariot, a Napoleon gun, and a BF-109, which if you can get all three of these things and create some sort of coherent time traveling mock, I definitely want to see it. So make sure you tag us if you're into building some sort of epic Roman Napoleon German World War II crossover mock. So I'd bring it to World War Brick too, because I'd love to check it out. This is another good example of a kit that received quite the treatment in its time, but was not necessarily widely produced, so to speak. So this is the Lancia, which is an Italian armored car from World War I. All of the bullet holes and everything you see there are actually printed. So this nice little flag and stuff around it. This, what does it say? Scorpione, sorry, Andrea. All of that stuff is all printed details. But this kit, once again, did not get a whole bunch of releases. So if you're kind of sitting back there being like, man, I missed out on the Italian World War I armored car, I hope they bring it back. Well, we're not gonna bring it back because, you know, unless you can gather 49 other friends of yours, it's pretty tough for us to justify running another batch of that. And so once again, you get a chance here in the Vault. I should say too, for the most part, we are getting these back from every single one of our stores because all of our stores do hold display copies. So if you do miss out on an auction, there is a chance that in the future you might have another crack at that kit. However, obviously each time it becomes less and less of a probability that you're going to see that auction item available once again in the BKM Vault. So just keep that in mind. I know we've had at least one person on social media mention the Chaffee. He'll probably be upset with me for showcasing it on this video because he wanted it to fly under the radar, so to speak. But sorry, it's one of the ones that was together, so we grabbed it. Another awesome little build. Once again, nothing wrong with it. Solid design. Just kind of ran out its life course here at Brickmania, and we can't necessarily keep all of this stuff available. This is another good example of like, it goes on its little run. Caro Amato, I want to say. It went on its little run, and then once it was done, it was retired pretty much immediately thereafter. And so that's just kind of how it goes. Now, the other kits that I wanted to talk about here, and then I'll wrap up this video quick. I'm sure you guys are sick of listening to me talk. But sometimes we also have these kits coming back that actually have seen a pretty significant run or we've done multiple variants of. So we have the SDKFC and the M113. So if you guys are familiar with Brickmania, which if you're watching this, I assume you are, we've done a lot of SDKFCs and a lot of M113s. Some people like to collect those different eras of builds. You know, they want to have a similar SDKFC that was built in 2013 and then in 2015 and then in 2019, etc., and kind of collect and put all those pieces together so that they can see the evolution of the designs, of the printing, of the minifigures, all that stuff if it spreads out. the Vault is now another great opportunity for you to kind of backfill that collection. If you took some time off, if the money just wasn't there, however it was back when the kit was initially being produced. And both of these kits did get produced in quantity. There were quite a few of them available. I think even the M113 available on digital instructions. That being said, they've been discontinued now for quite some time. So people who maybe got in on Big Chungus or have built other versions of the M113 but want an official one or something that was you know, the older era, so to speak, that's an excellent opportunity to be able to do that. And then like the SDKFZ here, which I believe this is a Canapa model, you know, this was at a time where we were really starting to expand our printing. And previously we hadn't, I don't think we had a dark Blay SDKFZ. We had just had one that was in that ambush camo, so to speak. So maybe you have the ambush camo one, or you have others in your collection, you're trying to complete that camo scheme, the look, the full shelf display, so to speak. You got another excellent opportunity to do that as these kits show up. So there will be more like this in the future, and there certainly are more. BF109 is even a decent example of, we've done a lot of those in the past, but maybe this is one of the ones you missed. There are other kits like that too that people like to collect multiple versions of. We will have those being available in the BKM Vault as well. So that'll do it for my little spiel here on these couple of sample kits that we had spread out. Remember, in case you skipped through the beginning of the video, first Thursday of every month, 8 a.m., that's when the auctions will officially go live. You'll be able to see the auction entries earlier. I'll get them up as soon as I can. So hopefully at least the day before, you'll be able to sit there and see what's going to soon kick off on Thursday. And then all auctions will end at 12 p.m. Sunday, which is 12 noon. And so that's when all of those will be complete. And then the following Monday is when customer service will email those winners and let you know that you can go ahead and complete that purchase, and then we'll get it all shipped off and ready to roll. So a little bit of a different system, but the nice thing is you don't have to just like be there right away at 8 a.m. on Thursday morning. If you got to work like some of us stiffs, if you got to do some of that stuff, you can do that and still have chances to roll back and see where things are at. Maybe you're hoping that something stays a little under budget, but then come Sunday morning, you realize, oh no, it's become very popular, it's taking off. This gives us all a little bit more time to kind of keep an eye on that stuff. And then, come 11:55 on Sunday morning, if you say, you know what, I absolutely have to have it, then you've got the option there to kind of place those final bids and make sure you end up as the winner. So that is the new rundown for the Brickmania Vault. You can see all of these items and much, much more online right now, all of them going live tomorrow at 8 a.m. So there you have it. Thanks for listening to me ramble, and we'll check in later this week.